All right, so first of all, I want to welcome everybody who's here, the press, all our community partners that are here today. Come on, Matt, you got to come up here with us, brother. We got Matt right there from the school district. Want to say thank you for making this press conference happen. This is probably one of the most crucial and most important issues and topics right now that's going on is about gun violence. Taking consideration of what's happening all around the world, the country, our city. We are here together as a community and everybody here as one to eradicate gun violence. My name is Rudy Corpus. I'm the ED of United Players, an organization that's been standing and fighting against gun violence for the last 21 years. I'm here with my people. When I say my people, my community, everybody who's here, who is serious about this issue. And we want to make sure that we do eradicate gun violence, that we are here, that you take this issue real serious. One of the most important pieces of all this is dealing with the mothers who have lost their son to gun violence. We want to make sure that we accommodate them and let them know that also that they are being heard and that they're being dealt with properly. And so, me being involved in the violence prevention field for 21 years, we deal primarily with youth, kids from all over the community, from all over the city, with the help of brothers like our brother Rich right here from Project Level, and also from our VIP team that's in the building right here, Frontline Soldiers. And so, with further ado, I want to invite Mayor Ed Lee to come on up. We got to put him on pause right now. That's the President of the United States, the states. We got to put on Ed Lee first. So let's welcome a ferocious mayor of our city who's been making the city a better place, Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you.
Well, Rudy, thank you to you and your staff for making your house available to all of us to co-host with you this important press event that announces our intention to join you, our police chief, our mothers, people who really want to embrace nonviolence to do this gun buyback event that's coming up this Saturday in the morning. And I want to emphasize that having now worked with United Players and so many other community-based organizations, as important as education is to us, and I know we have a school board member, Matt Haney, here today, as important as it is that we want good jobs, and we have everybody in this room that wants better paying jobs in this very expensive city, that we want training, we want economic development, we want other nonprofits to be able to own their own buildings like United Players has figured out how to do. All of that becomes nearly impossible if you've got violence. Violence distracts you from everything, and the trauma that goes with it lasts for generations, unfortunately, for families and for the communities that are involved. And so it is our attempt with this gun buyback is to reduce the opportunities for violence. People can have disagreements. Clearly, disagreements, even between me and the Board of Supervisors sometimes, can create some good solutions. But if people resort to violence to resolve their differences, if they resort to violence as the way to make their presence known or try to get something, that's not going to solve anything. That worsens the situation for everybody. And so I want to take a big perspective on this because this country, as Rudy's indicated with his call from the president, that there's a lot of violence going on in our entire country, and the Bay Area is no different. And we've got to reach out to more young people. We've got to reach out even to not so young people that resort to violence, that we can't have that as an alternative. And so we're going to do our best working with our police department that's doing as much community outreach as possible, along with our community groups, along with mothers and victims of violence that I know have every right to say what they need to say, whether it's in front of City Hall or in the mayor's office or in community groups, I support that. Because ultimately, at the end, the message is less violence. The message is embrace each other, find a way that we can communicate with less violence. Because if we do so, then you're going to see some advancements in education. You're going to see advancements in jobs. You can see more advancement in community economic development. This is what we're doing in our public housing, because that's been the site of so much violence. We're trying to change all of that. Community policing with new techniques. We're trying to change all of that and invest in our communities and invest in our people and make sure we educate our kids. There is no good answer and no good solutions if you use violence and if we use guns. So getting these guns off has been effective. Over the years, I think we've gotten over almost 1,000 guns off the streets. That's right. Most of them not even properly purchased. But it doesn't matter if they were legally purchased or not, as we are learning all the time. That violence doesn't beget whether you purchased the gun illegally or legally. It's the use of the gun to resolve a difference. That's what we want to prevent from happening. And so we all come together on this. I'm united. I'm supportive of the United Players and all of their friends, all of their communities, all of their groups and individuals who want to change their lives and would hope that others would just put the guns down and let's talk through, because this city got resources. It ain't like we're not offering anything. We are making the biggest investments in education we have ever had in our history. We are trying to get jobs for everybody, including those that may have a questionable background. We will help you erase those backgrounds, get better jobs. We will train you in all of the industries that the city's become successful on. We have so much promise as a city. We do not and should not ever have to resort to violence for these differences. So I stand with United Players, with our officers, with our community groups, with everybody that's come out of our prison system, that we need to do better, and we need to find alternatives to prison and get people the jobs that they need so they can raise their families and be dignified as everyone wants to be. This is a great city. We can be even greater if we reduce this violence. Thank you very much, Rudy, and your entire staff for putting this on and making sure that we'll do this, and we'll continue to do it. We have a lot of people that want to support us, and next year we'll be joining Oakland and doing gun buyback on both sides, because crime knows no boundaries, and we need to educate each other's communities that we can be even more successful by embracing nonviolence. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Ed Lee. Let's give a hand one more time for Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you, brother. I just want to reiterate once again, we're here to eradicate gun violence. We all know the reality is there's guns all over the world, this city, but even one gun that we could get off the streets could be that gun that may save your life, your children's life, or somebody in your family's life. You never know when that bullet leaves that chamber that it does not discriminate. It does have no name on that bullet. But if we're able to get rid of guns and we could burn them down to tuna cans, I guarantee you that one gun right there will save everybody in this room. So let's continue to support each other. We can agree to disagree, like the mayor said. And so at the end of the day, we respect each other's values. The next gentleman I'm going to bring up is a good friend of mine. He also has been doing an amazing job to me of stopping the violence in San Francisco. He is the chief of police of San Francisco, and he plays a major role in getting rid of guns on the streets of San Francisco. Give it up for Greg Sir.
I want to thank Rudy and United Players for pulling this together and hosting the gun buyback that's going to take place this Saturday. As the mayor said, the focus has been on gun violence. Standing to my left here is Ms. Paulette Brown. She lost her son to gun violence in 2006, Aubrey Abacasa. She is tireless at appearing at any event that speaks to the reduction of violence, especially gun violence. In 2007, there were 98 people killed in San Francisco. 71 of those were killed by a firearm. Through the work with organizations like United Players and Project Level and other community groups, and certainly with the leadership of our mayor and our commitment to young people and education and jobs, we've been able to better than halve those numbers. Last year, we had 46 homicides, but still 30 of those were by firearm. Every year, year in and year out, the San Francisco Police Department takes over 1,000 guns off the streets of San Francisco. Gun buybacks since 2011 have taken 950 guns off the street, and I'm confident that Saturday that number is going to go better than 1,000. Any gun, as Rudy already just spoke to, any gun that comes off the streets of San Francisco is the gun that can do no harm. So please, if you have a firearm in the house, if you know of somebody else with a firearm in the house that's just there, please think about turning it in on Saturday, pick up a little holiday shopping money at the same time, and it'll go a long way to keeping San Francisco safe, and the children of these mothers might be here today and you wouldn't have grieving mothers in their place. Please, turn the guns in.
Thank you, Chief. Great, sir. I also want to acknowledge Maddie Scott and Carletta, who are mothers who have lost their sons also to gun violence. If you look at the wall right here, those are all unsolved murders, and some of them are the children of the mother who's standing right here. So we want to make sure we acknowledge them wholeheartedly and make sure that we try to find out solutions, because they are part of the solution, majorly. And so just to move on, we got two more speakers. We're also waiting right now for our district supervisor, James Kim. But the next gentleman that I want to bring up, he's also an employee of United Players who also been through the gridiron and walked the hot rocks of Baghdad barefooted. He was a monster, now he's a mentor. I want to bring up my brother Damian Posey so he can share also. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I want to implore and touch the hearts of the people who might be watching this sincerely. To my homies in the hood, to the mothers, to the grandmothers, to the brothers, to the sisters. If you got guns in your home, come out December 12th, 8 to 12, 1038 Howard Street, and turn them in. I've been on both sides. I've been shot 5 times, and I've also pulled that trigger in anger. I did 10 years in prison, but I changed my life. I'm here with the United Players here today, and I'm doing the work every day along with these brothers alongside of me, along with these mothers alongside of me, to get these guns off these streets, to make it safer for our children, for the people, because like Rudy said, you never know when that gun could be the gun to hurt you or someone you love. I've stolen guns out of people's houses, out of their cars, and sold them to people, and I don't know what happened to them. You want to get rid of those guns. The statistics are there. It just happened recently where a little boy killed his own brother because he found a gun. You know you're not trained to have no gun. You know you don't have a license to have a gun. There's other ways to work things out. It's going to take us all as a community, as a people, no matter what your race, color, creed, economic level. These last 2 gun buybacks are participated in. You'd be surprised at the people that came out. Got a cameraman here today was thinking about turning in his gun. I'm not going to point him out or nothing. But I implore him and everyone else, if you got guns sitting in your home and you know you're not taking care of it, you don't have it locked up in a high place, you got children in your home, even if you don't, you never know when the case may come where your own gun might be used against you. So I implore you, deep from within my heart, I implore you from them 5 bullet holes in my body, from those 10 years that I've done, from these mothers' children, I ask you to come in, turn in those guns, and let's find a better way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Damian. I also been a victim to gun violence myself. You see this right here? This is for real. You're talking about real frontline soldiers who've been in a battlefield on ground zero have to deal with stuff like this daily. Come up here, Bo. This is my brother Bo right here. Right? Where New York at? This brother Fossey back here. You talking about reentry, and you talking about helping brothers who's coming home from the penitentiary. He just did 45 years. Brother Fossey right here did a gang of time too. New York back there, and the guy at the front door, they did over 60 years together. All these guys right here probably over 150 years. So you talk about solutions, you got the moms, you got brothers who been there, done that, you got the mayor, right? You got the community, and you got the chief of police, and you got the school district. But what other part is missing in the equation for all this to happen? We got our supporters. Who helped us fund this gun buyback? Ron Conway, who I know get a lot of controversial, but people don't know he donates to the cause, and he don't ask no questions. You got brothers from the medical marijuana stores, from Green Door, from Grassroots, from Barbary Coast, Hallinan and Brendan, who donates numerous amounts of resources to make this all happen. One of the main guys who we have to address, who originated the gun buyback, his name is Ian, right? Ian's father got killed when he was probably a little kid, and the young man who killed his father was 16 years old that stole a gun out of a house or a car. And that's what originated the gun buyback. We don't want to have to wait for all the bureaucracy to go through to get guns off the streets. We want to get them now. And so this brother right who's helping us out, he said some incredible things. One thing he forgot to mention was there's no questions asked. We ain't going to ask you nothing. You turn them in, you get your money, and you can start wiggling. You can bounce. You can leave. And so this is a serious, serious issue right here. Y'all turn on the TV, I guarantee you're going to see something about gun violence. You want the solution? Here it is right here. We're doing it. So don't wait till the cameras is in front of you or somebody from your family get hurt or shot for you to say, you know what, I want to be on this side. Because it ain't about a color, it ain't about a gender, it ain't about a nationality, and it ain't about no age. When somebody pulls that trigger, you can't stop that bullet when it's firing your way. I know. Look, this saved my nephew's life. We was in front of my mama's house 2 blocks up when we all got shot at. One of the guys who was with me, my cousin, he got hit 5 times. May he rest in peace. And said, this is happening over and over again. That could have been my life, though. But for thank God, I'm still here with my brothers and sisters. And so I want to bring up somebody who's fierce for our community, who loves and cares about our people, whose heart is in the hood and actually lives in the hood. She's ferocious in the game. I want to have our district supervisor, Jane Kim, come up and share. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here today, and also to the media for helping us do outreach and education on this really important event on Saturday. I got to participate in the gun buyback last year, and a lot of our residents came out to volunteer. This is one of the best and most direct ways to reduce gun violence on our streets. On almost a weekly basis, we have headlines of massive gun violence across the country. And when you look to see where we have less gun violence, it is in cities and localities and states where we have stronger gun control laws and we have less guns on the streets. This is one of the ways that we can do that. And as Rudy said, we can do that without the bureaucracy, without all the policies, and without any questions asked. This is the time to turn it in and to bring less violence and more peace on the streets. So important in our community here in the South of Market, but also here in San Francisco. But most importantly, I do want to acknowledge and thank so many of the amazing donors that are making this a reality, that are contributing money, so we can get this done, again, with no questions asked. So I want to thank Rudy and United Players for instituting this really innovative program and making it so successful. Because we have gun buybacks all the time, but they don't always bring the fruitions that you want to see. But when you have good outreach and a lot of education, we can make it a big success. So I hope that everyone is able to participate and get the word out, and also volunteer with the organizations. But again, thank you so much for all the donors who are making this possible, so we can have a big success. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane Kim. So after we complete this press conference, we have people here who would like to share if you guys would like to speak to them. But can I see that, Maddie? Yes. I'm going to read you some alarming statistics before we end. 1 in 3 homes with children have guns, many left unlocked or loaded. Y'all didn't hear me, though. 1 in 3 homes with children have guns, many left unlocked or loaded. I'm sure people up there, I done seen my homeboy blow his head off right in front of me. Never been the same since. 80% unintentional firearm deaths of kids under 15 occur in their home. What season is this right now? The holidays. Homicides, domestic violence, and suicide by gun increases during the holidays. So you want to be involved and help out? Here it is right here. Of the great words of Maddie Scott, we want to go to graduations, not funerals. Am I right? Yes. And you be a part of the solution and not the pollution. We're involved. We ain't waiting till anything happens. We doing this right now because we don't want to go to no more funerals. We don't want nobody seeing the hospital or them crippled or walking around with a bag on their side. Because once you get shot and you die, you ain't never coming back. These brothers, these right here on the wall, I guarantee you they be standing right here with us right now saying what they saying is for real and it needs to be heard and told. And I'm not against people who has guns, you know, who is responsible, knows how to do it, or, you know, the safety behind guns. Because we live in a real world where there's real guns and people are out there with mental health issues. I'm talking about guns, man, that just laying there in people's cars, their houses, or people walking around the streets who's reckless. Just get those guns turned in. No questions asked. I want to make sure we honor the mayor, the chief police, the medical marijuana stores, the community people, the VIP, project level, most definitely the mothers right here, our district supervisor, our fierce district supervisor, Jane Kim. Got mad love for you, girl. And also the school district right here, Matt Haney, our captain of our neighborhood, Jerry. Right? And the leader of this guy's right here, Rico, Arturo, the rest of you guys who are here, thank you. And my brothers and sisters who all just came home from prison, who's out here doing good work, okay? Shouts out to Mike Redmond in the back and the rest of you guys. Please ask questions. Thank you for coming.